In this video, we're going to talk about Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is an equation that we can use to calculate the electrostatic force between two charges. Let's say we have two positive charges. Since they are like charges, they're going to want to push each other away. To calculate the magnitude of the electrostatic force, the equation is Fe is equal to K Q1 times Q2 divided by R squared. Fe is the electrostatic force. K is Coulomb's constant, 9 times 10 to the 9th Newton meter squared per Coulomb squared. Q1 and Q2 is the charge, and R is the distance between the two charges. The unit for the electrostatic force is newtons, the unit for charge is coulombs, and the unit for distance is meters. Coulomb's law is most useful for calculating the magnitude of the electrostatic force. So you'll notice that for the charge, we use the absolute value of the charge. To find the direction of the electrostatic force, we remember the rule that like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Since force is a vector, it not only has a magnitude but also a direction. Now we'll look at the relationship between the electrostatic force and the charges. The electrostatic force and the charges are directly proportional. So here's an example. If charge Q1 doubles, then the electrostatic force will also double, because as you increase the charge, you increase the electrostatic force. If the charge Q1 and Q2 both double, then the electrostatic force will quadruple 4 times. So once again, as the charge increases, the electrostatic force will increase, and the electrostatic force is directly proportional to the product of the two charges. Next, we'll look at the relationship between the electrostatic force and the distance between the two charges. So this relationship is an inverse square relationship. You'll notice not only that it's an inverse, but there's also a squared on the distance. So we say it's an inverse square relationship. If the distance increases, the electrostatic force will decrease. So here's an example. If R doubles, so the distance R doubles, the electrostatic force is going to be not 1/2 squared, but it's going to be 1/4. The reasons it's not 1/2 is because there's a squared on the distance. If R is cut in half, so they're getting closer to each other, the electrostatic force is going to be 4 times greater. The reason it's not 2 times greater, once again, is because that distance is squared. Now we're going to take a look at how Newton's third law applies to these force interactions between the two charges. So Newton's third law tells us that for every action force, there's an equal and opposite reaction force. So in the case of charges, Q1 is pulling on Q2, the same amount of force that Q2 is pulling on Q1, regardless of whether one charge is greater than the other. As long as they are interacting with each other, they will have the same amount of force. However, the force will be in opposite directions. Now I'd like to take a look at the similarities and differences between Coulomb's law and Newton's law of universal gravitation. You'll notice that they look very similar. Both have a constant. Coulomb's law has K Coulomb's constant, and Newton's law of universal gravitation has G, the gravitational constant. Coulomb's law is dealing with charges, so you have Q1 and Q2, while Newton's law of universal gravitation is dealing with masses, the gravitational force between two masses. Both of them have an inverse square relationship with the distance. So if you can use one of these equations, it's helpful because you can kind of apply the mathematical process to the other one, but there's also some differences. So obviously one is dealing with masses, the other one is dealing with charges, but beyond that, the electrostatic force can be attractive or repulsive, while gravitational force only attracts. So sometimes you will get a problem where you will have multiple forces. And in that case, we will apply the principle of superposition, where we're combining individual forces to find the net force. So let's take a look at these 3 charges. And we're going to focus on the bottom left negative charge. We want to find the net force acting on this charge. And so the positive charge above is going to pull it because it's an unlike charge, so it's going to pull this negative charge up. We'll call that F1. The positive charge on the right is going to pull the negative charge to the right because they're unlike charges. We'll call that force F2. To find the net force, we're going to find the vector sum. Since this forms a right triangle, we can use Pythagorean theorem. So the net force squared is equal to F1 squared plus F2 squared. Now we'll take a look at a problem where we have three charges in a row. We have a positive, a negative, and a negative. We're going to focus on the negative charge in the middle, and that charge is going to be pulled to the left by the positive charge on the left because they're unlike charges. We'll call that force F1. And then it's also going to repel the negative charge on the right. And so that's going to push that middle negative charge to the left, and we'll call that force F2. To find the net force, since they're in the same direction, we're just going to add F1 plus F2. Here are some tips when solving problems with Coulomb's law. The first is to use absolute values for the charge. So this will give you the magnitude of the electrostatic force. Now, although the force is a vector, it has magnitude and direction, we're going to solve the direction separately by using the rule like charges repel and unlike charges attract. So the equation is great for calculating the magnitude, and then we're going to use our rule for attraction repulsion to find the direction. And then lastly, if there are multiple forces, multiple charges, then we're going to use vector addition to find the net force.